run anyway on Saturday.
Cool.
So
Well, I've
you
met
can
you.
try and get that.
Oh, the animation. The animation. 2 seconds.
Oh, no.
2 seconds. There we go. Boom. Well, that was professional. Right, let's move the crystal bit down to beneath the animation. Right, welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. We are an RPG channel. You all know this by now. You all join us in our lovely adventures and stories, and it's amazing to have a little community watching us make fools of ourselves while we roll dice. So yeah, and hopefully tell some stories. So, welcome to the channel. If you're new, now do. If you're old, donate this lot. Rerolls, they will need them. So, little announcement-y stuff before we start. Social media, we're all over it. Mainly Twitter and Facebook are our big ones, but you can follow us on Instagram. It'll get used more and more as things settle down and we go back to being able to go everywhere, because I don't fancy Instagram in my kitchen every day just to remain relevant on Instagram. Although I could do. I could probably stick a kettle or two with some dice in it. Anyway, social media, go check us out. We did a big charity stream a week and a bit ago, 24 hours. It was amazing. Donated by the end of the night, we had £1,100 and some pence. We got £60 in bits, give or take. We have got a contribution met by Dice of the Beholder's workplace, so they're going to throw in another 50, 60 quid, I think it is, from their staff. So we've really pushed it up to nearly £1,300, which is absolutely amazing. McIntyre have already been emailing, and they are very, very, very grateful and cannot throw their thanks at us enough, and yourselves for donating. So if you are listening to this now on the VOD or YouTube, thank you so much for your donations. We have done the draws for the prizes. I will do a big post on the old Twitter, Facebook, probably Instagram, with everyone's names, and then I'll let the relevant folks know where they need to send their dice and maps and stuff like this, so that'll be really cool. But a massive, massive thank you from myself and the Short Rest Tavern lot and Ree, who works for McIntyre. It was a fabulous amount of money raised, so thank you very much. We are now pushing just short of 6k in the last 3 years we've raised for different charities. Which ain't bad for a bunch of dice rolling neds, so I'll take that any day of the week, so thank you very much. And you've had a significant haircut. Probably not aimed at me. So, if you look, we got some sponsors. Loke Battle Mats. They do battle maps, flip out books. You throw them out on your table and you've got your tundras and forests and arcane circles and all that lovely goodness. They've done towns and taverns, they've done extra wilderness stuff. They're super cool if you just want a quick, especially as a dungeon master, if your players decide to go left and attack the castle or the ritual that's going on in the woods for no reason at all, but boom, you've got a map and you can throw on some werewolves in arcane robes and kill everyone. It's great. Go check them out. They also do the digital versions of everything they do, so you can use those digital versions on Roll20, Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, any other virtual tabletops. Just grab them, throw them up there. Super, super cool at what they do. They also do a few cyberpunk/sci-fi maps as well, so go check them out on, or just go to their website. You can find them on like DM's Guild and stuff. They're super good at what they do. I'm going to leave the McIntyre logo up for now, just so you guys can see it, and maybe visit and see what they get on there. Based around Milton Keynes, but super good at what they do. For you, those of you that don't know, they are a support charity. They've got 1,200 people under their wing. Terminology. But from kids to young adults to adults, all the way through folks with like autism of various levels and other needs of support in their life. So they do a really good job of that, so check them out. Coyote Grey, if you go to Roll20 to the marketplace in the search bar, put Coyote Grey, you will see several packs, about 9 I think, of chibi tokens to be used on Roll20 and other virtual tabletops. Once you've bought them, you can download them and boom, off you go. They are super cool. I am a massive like chibi fan. I always have been. I love the art style. It's the only thing in my life I accept that's cute. The children are either handsome or dead to me. So I like their chibi tokens. Go check out Coyote Grey. He's done a Cyberpunk pack, which I immediately bought and use on our Cyberpunk games. He also released a pack that heavily is influenced by Rime of the Frost Maiden, so go check that out. And if you go to Twitter and look for Coyote Grey, you'll probably find Rob's account. And you'll see all the artwork he releases. All his tokens are generally done off the campaigns he's running. He's currently doing Ravenloft, so he's done loads of little chibi stuff that he's thrown out just as tasters about his campaign. It's super cool. Ishana is by far my favourite sponsor. Haha. She is a very, very talented glass crafter. If you go check out her streams, Ashana on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, you go check them out and you can see her making glass figurines. Super zen, super chill, and super cool little miniatures that come out at the end of it. So go check out Ashana, super talented. Ruffworx Creative, the Man Crush, the OnlyFans section of... I'll get to the OnlyFans bit in a minute before it's mentioned in chat. The OnlyFans section of the Heavyweight Gaming. Boom, you've got another 200 bits, which I will tell everyone about. Ruffworx Creative, wood and leather work. If you want something that is never ever going to get replicated, check out Ruffworx Creative. He will make you the thing, and it will never ever be seen again. And it will made with blood, sweat, and tears. Hopefully, just is, and he doesn't just get it off some random in the street. But yeah, go check out Facebook. Look for Ruffworx Creative. Check out the photo album. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous work. And I say this every week. And one day I will have a table big enough to put on my Dungeon Master's screen, which is the greatest wood I've ever had. Hooey! So, you sponsor. Have we got any more sponsors? We are not sponsored by Syrinscape. However, I use them on every single thing I do, whether it be sat at a table, playing games with friends, or online. They are incredible providers of epic sounds for epic games. If you go check out their sound sets, they've got you can create a free account and you get a taster, couple of sets, and they're brilliant. I guarantee you'll probably sign up, subscribe, and take everything we've got because all the sound sets they have and the ambience they can give you to your games is incredible. So go check them out. If you are playing online like we do, you can use the download player app. All your players download the app, and whatever tunage you play goes through, and your players can have the ambience as loud or as quiet as they wish. I know some players are distracted by it, others want to be so loud they're there. So that's down to them. So lovely jubbly. That's the sponsors. 200 bits. If you donate 200 bits to the session, this lot get a free reroll. They can't use it on the Dungeon Masters rolls, and they cannot use it on Death Saving throws, and they cannot carry them over till next week. And they can only ever have 5 at one time. So if they get up to 5 and they use a couple, you can put them back up to 5. But don't waste your bits until they've actually rerolled them. So yeah, that's good. Bits. If you go to DM's Guild, Ruffworx, you missed your link. What a rookie. If you go to DM's Guild and check out Tasha's Heavier Crockpot of Bits and Bobs, 200 copies sold. If it ain't at 200 yet, buy one until it gets up to 200. Full of it. Ew, Ree, thank you very much for the 5 giveaway tier. I'm sorry I'm saying that wrong. 5 gifted. Thanks for the 5 gifted. Thank you very much, Ree. Yeah, holy shit, Code Red. Holy shit. Payday, Ree, is it? Payday? So go check out Tasha's Heavier Crockpot Bits and Bobs. Full of 5th edition stuff, loads of cool artwork, loads of cool spells and subclasses of feats. 80 pages plus, 81 pages, there you go. Super, super good. Go check that out. And all the money made gets spread out amongst the creators, artists, writers, etc. So it's really cool. 200 copies is brilliant. It's super proud. We are currently, and there has been a shed ton of it written, myself and Arcane, we are slowly piecing together the next thing we are going to release, and that will be the Atorian sourcebook, which is ridiculous that it's even a concept that we're attempting. But yeah, so thank you very much for the sub, Mabonix. So yeah, so that's it. What else we got? Mel, what have I missed?
Just while you're looking, I'm playing with the windows open this evening, so if what you can hear is traffic, let me know and I'll mute my mic until I need to talk.
It's fine, it's just an echo in the realm. Big shout out, there's a couple of them in the chat. The Short Rest Tavern lot that actually played the 24-hour stream managed to roleplay for 20 hours of that 24-hour and only have a couple of combats. It was incredible. It was a fantastic collaborative storytelling. I was very humbled to have them at my virtual table. They did a great job. So thank you very much to the Short Rest Tavern. And hopefully the money we've raised will do good for McIntyre and get me, pie and a pint next time I see Rick. So
yeah, you have caused us some trouble. It's okay, but we'll be fine.
There is a possibility.
What's the worst that could happen? What are you drinking tonight?
So kids, this lovely bunch of coconuts. I'm getting a t-shirt. Oh, they are now known as the Fable Weavers. Stand by. Should be an animation. Look at that animation. Embrace it. Absorb it. Absorb it. There we go. We're back. Right. They're in the realm of Tohoro. This is the realm of echoes. They've gone there to rescue Stefan, the broken, quotations, brother of Aristotle. Whilst being there, they've managed to encounter some of the... It only took 50 sessions. Look, art. Alright, it's like a fine gravy. Right? It takes time to mature, my bonnets. Right? Mature? Mature. There we go, can't say it. You're in the realm of echoes. You've bumped into echoes that have shown you possibilities of your own lives, possibilities of your own deaths. You have interacted with the big one, being Stefan, from several echoes. Different possibilities and realms and planes, whatever terminology those of an intelligent mind deem to label it with, there is definitely a realm that echoes the rest. The natives of the realm tend to garden the realm, growing these glass orbs and replanting them and nurturing them as they seem to sprout forth from the ground and soil and flower beds that are scattered about the realm. You've been through magic waterfalls, you've been through fields of silence, covered in the dead bodies, dead corpses, won't be corpses if they weren't dead, of Kenku, large raven, crow-like creatures, and they scatter as if a battlefield was done many, many moons ago. The Realm of Echoes is a very strange place, if you haven't noticed already. You also met Lord Akarian in a younger state, and Lady Ashaldria, the first Ash, who seems to be quite friendly with Oak. Doing all that, you ended up in a bit of a fight with Stefan. Not the Stefan, but a Stefan. And a couple of other Stefans.
3 Stephans.
3 Stefans. Fireballs went off, lightning bolts went off, chain lightning went off. Faye died. Xandria, Summer Breeze, the Lance Lord of Autumn, and the Herald of Summer passed away into a winter's night. It was pretty brutal. But the party have managed to keep her body, what's the word?
Preserved.
Preserved, there you go. Keep her body preserved at the aid of a... Just covered her in jam. That's what the spell was. They met a cleric by the name of Crystal, who was at one of the other way stations within the realm. This particular way station was a bit more merry and a bit more interactive than the previous one. The cleric known as Crystal cast some simple divine magics to preserve the body of Xandria, and is also on her way to the Tower of Puku. Oro has suggested not to go in there, as he has no idea, he has no thought, nothing does he have any clue regarding this tower. He only knows that it is the alleged place where Tohoro themselves first came to this realm, or first created this realm. There are many stories around it. To get there, you must row across a very choppy sea. The choppy sea seems to be just beyond the calm coastline of the town that you are in. Okarian was informed of his friend's passing and displayed a little bit of anger, which was not normally seen with Oak. The party have come together, they've accepted Crystal's aid, and you are rowing. That's right, we do have a crystal, a sapphire, and a ruby. Fable chakras. And you are rowing, you row past this calm coast and into the choppier seas. Ahead of you is the tower, or at least the coastline that leads towards this tower in the distance. The storm gathering above it, the grey clouds. It's very dramatically ominous. Whilst rowing, there are several bumps into the boat. You also have Owlbear with you. One of the Kashai that you met several sessions ago. Several things hit the boat. There's a growling storm above you, and there's nudges on the rowing boat. 3, 2, 1. You're in. Brilliant.
Silence.
That's sorry. Let me try. 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, I'm only getting like every 10th word.
Really?
Somebody is having technical difficulties.
So
It's
I'm
doing
at
to me as well.
Yeah, you keep freezing for us as well, Luke.
Oh, Luke's freezing. All right, that's all right.
Yay.
I blame the Scottish internet. Those at home, the sound from Syrinscape is on the same mixer as the players, so I'll try and keep it to a volume you can hear, but if it's too loud, please let me know and I'll try and adjust. So you're on the ship, Coconuts. It gets hit, thud thud, from shapes in the water.
The shapes are really deep down, though, I think
Yeah.
it said. Yeah.
Yes.
But it seems like they're still able to hit. Well,
That's it.
yeah, because it's...
Sapphire's like gripping onto both edges
so
of
something's
this
bumped
boat.
in.
No.
Ruby's decided that she's not necessarily great on boats.
Keep
There is no-
calm and keep rowing.
Where she's rowing, she's all right, but there seems to be a motion sickness happening when she has nothing to focus on and there's no terra firma under her boots.
Harry's just kind of stood at the edge of the boat, kind of walking around the edge of the boat with his rapier out, just being like, if anything comes over the
I don't
side,
think
I'm
the boat's big
stabbing it.
enough for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a rowboat, right?
Yeah, the
Yep.
the rowboat doesn't have a deck.
Yeah.
So if you stand up, you'll be doing a
You're
couple of
going
dice
over.
rolls to see
Oh,
if you
wow,
can
okay.
on a choppy sea. It is big
In which-
enough for you to stand, but I wouldn't recommend, you know.
No, okay, he'll just
It's a
kind of
balance
stand
thing.
at one side then and just be like, ready to stab, essentially.
And I think you
believe
said
you got to
that
3 rerolls.
You wouldn't...
Cass and Sapphire were rowing at this moment in time, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
We ended
think
it,
so.
yeah.
It has been a while. I'm pretty sure it was the men.
Hey,
Oh, if Sapphire's
Lads,
rowing,
lads,
he's not
lads.
gripping onto the sides of the boat. He's watching Kess and trying to keep in time with Kess while definitely not panicking about the boat maybe tipping.
Just like trying not to get into that super. If I row faster, we'll get back to land sooner.
It's more that I'm trying not to go into a rage so that I pedal really fast and you would just go in a circle.
Chaotic pedalo.
Chaotic pedal. That's what we should have...
Called the.
The new-
We're getting rid of Fable Weavers.
A little bit.
Chaotic pedal. It's got the it's got more of an us energy, I feel.
So is it a case of you just keep rowing?
Yeah,
Keep
but I think
rowing.
we'll just keep rowing.
Cool.
Eyes out, keep rowing.
As you keep rowing,
Nothing.
nothing else thuds into the boat. You are aware, just pointing out to one another, and between the 5 of you, or well 6 of you with Owlbearer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Xandria's with you, is she not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Owl bearers looking after
Yeah. If it comes to it, he's grabbing her by the ankles, mate. So it's getting clubbed to death. I'm just saying.
I'll tell you what, I think Xandria would be cool with that.
Yeah.
Headbutt of
Being
summer.
used as a deadly weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
Whisper on the winds, hellish rebuke. So, no other thuds happen to the boat. However, between the 6 of you, you do notice that the shapes are still present, still deep, and don't seem to approach. And you keep rowing.
Row, 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 your boat
As you
gently
keep rowing, can the 2 rowers give me Constitution saving throws, please?
And do it.
To avoid cramp, because that's D&D, kids.
Merrily, merrily,
22.
merrily, this is
Who's
not
the other
a
rower?
dream.
John.
Sapphire.
Sapphire,
Yep.
can I have a Constitution saving throw, please?
One is not the one. Oh, it's really not the one. That's a 6.
Oh,
Can I use a
really?
reroll? Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it nice and quick. That's a 17.
Hey.
Boom! First roll at night. That is not a great place for your camera to freeze, Luke. It was funny. Someone will definitely clip that.
Oh, I love that.
You're literally like. So,
Oh no.
Sapphire stutters for a moment, but braces themselves, and off you go. And you row, and the water is choppy, the storm is gathering, and you get that boom, boom. And then some of the hits are harder on the waves, as it's not the smoothest vessel to be going through this sort of waters. And you row for what feels like hours. Past the afternoon, it does feel like it is reaching where you naturally look for somewhere to stay or set up camp or such. And there is just this constant presence of gathering storm that never gets any stronger. The waters remain as choppy as they were when you first entered them. There doesn't seem to be a rise or decline in their energy. However, the coastline is approaching you. Is anyone keeping watch? Like, point of the ship. So can Crystal and Ari please give me a perception check?
Perception check.
Nothing. That was a 9 altogether.
Wept. Well, thank God some of us have got the ability to see things. 18.
Yeah, the cleric should have decent perception.
I mean, I've got a +6.
Well, obviously there's not Totty on the beach, otherwise it would have been higher.
Which is in the boat.
Jesus wept.
I don't think I've said Totty for 20 years.
Totty.
Totty. So,
Okay.
as you approach the coastal line, Ari, you're kind of too distracted by the shapes beneath the water that other than acknowledging that you're getting closer to land, nothing really piques your attention. However, Crystal, you can see that at first you thought they might have been glints of shiny stones maybe, or shells that are on the beach that a light source is reflecting off. But the more you focus and almost lean towards to look, you see that there is a spherical shape to the lights, and they seem to be dipping in and out of various colours. And the beach, now that you notice, it's almost like they've noticed you noticing them. You notice me noticing you, and more and more seem to appear or begin being visible.
Okay.
You are about 100, maybe 120 feet away from the coast, so it's not like you're on it, on the beach.
So I'll point out in that direction and go, Ari, was it? Do you see that ahead?
You do now.
Of course I do now.
You know.
Oh.
What is that?
Don't touch them. Just don't touch them. They're
Have
not
you had experience with them?
If they're what I suspect, they give you echoes of what you could be in another realm.
I thought they were quite cool.
You thought they were cool. I didn't enjoy them.
So I see everyone has different opinions about them then.
It would depend what they decide to show you. Your life could have been anything. So if you only see nice ones, then you probably think they're quite nice. But if sorry, no.
Are you all right, Jeannie? Should we ring somebody?
I'm alright. Ruby is seasick as
Ruby is
Okay.
seasick.
I know, it took me a minute, so I was like, is Jeannie okay?
If Jeannie was about to vomit,
I said night to the kids.
Yeah.
I came
she
back
just
and
got up and left us.
Jane was having a moment. I was like, what's going on? Role
No,
playing
she's fine.
everywhere,
I'm
surrounded.
fishing for an Oscar, that's all.
You're getting there, you're getting there.
But yeah, there comes a point where Ruby just stops trying to explain, just like, and just like, no.
Ari will offer his hip flask.
Gets elbowed in the leg, sharply.
I'm just trying to
Sorry.
help.
Sorry, I don't really have anything for seasickness.
You notice Owlbearer's pointing towards the coast as well after watching the interaction between Crystal and Harry. And straight up in Thieves' Cant just points out angry. Just signs out angry and points towards the orbs. Or at least the coast.
Yeah. Albara's saying they're angry. It's not a good sign.
And we probably want to avoid them then.
Mm-hmm. Like,
He
I think
said
it was
they
the
were-
red ones that were not great for us last time.
Back at the town, he said they were wild up here, not farmed.
Oh, yeah.
So it could just be that they haven't seen people before.
Okay, well, at least we're aware they're there, so we can avoid them. Well, we'll attempt to avoid them, I guess. Let's just keep going and see if we can get to land quickly.
See, Roro, Sapphire, you don't look like you're willing to Roro just yet. I will wait. The face you made then, I thought Sapphire was about to drop a grenade in the water.
He's just staring down at it like, no, no, no.
No,
But yeah,
no,
he's
no, no.
quite steadily rowing. Quite happy. Want to get the hell out of the water as quick as possible.
Cool. So unless you tell me otherwise, you're hitting the beach. Yep. Lovely. A minute or so, maybe a bit longer. You row the 100+ feet up to the beach. And as you get to the beach, there is a wet crunching of sand meets the bottom of the boat, and it beaches. You are there. There is no need to get out of it and pull it up. It's as if it has almost guided and welcomed you to the sands. Looking around you, the beach before you, you quickly all realise more Kesfion, but it wouldn't take you a lot long to also notice that the surrounding area, beach, the small dunes, the rock, the tower in front of you is ridiculous. It seems to be the only thing missing from this scene is water. And not the sea behind you, but as if you are under the water. The beach in front of you, the rocks you start to notice are actually a like grey coral type. Well, they're coral. And they sort of feed around and twist. And they've got the seaweed and the life of under the sea. Sebastian's all over the place. You start to notice that it's as if someone's just taken almost a snapshot of what would be beneath the sea, and it is now here. And you can see there is almost a edge to it, where whether you look maybe 80, 90 feet to your left and right and around you, you can see where the more, at least obvious geography you've noticed thus far, with the woods that kind of carve and the roots that make the pathways around to Horror, sort of hit this snapshot, this scene, and don't go any further. And the scene in front of you looks like it's been lifted and shifted from beneath a body of water, an ocean, a sea somewhere. Like a minefield out in front of you, there are the orbs, these fairy globes, these echo orbs that you bumped into, whether they be pale colours or vibrant reds. These are an absolute chaotic swirl of colours racing all around them. Some of them have, like, the colours will change and like a lightning strike through the orb. Others will be like someone's just clapped with a lot of coloured powder. But there is explosions and streaks of colour through these orbs, all very much the same size as the other orbs that you bumped into, golf ball to tennis ball size. And they kind of scattered and dart around, whereas the others kind of hung in the air and either raced towards you or just hung around you curiously. These are very chaotic and darting and unfocused, it seems, out in front of you. The tower in front of you, as it reaches up, is made of the same dark grey coral around the surrounding area. And the tower is as tall as any building any of you have ever seen, any tree you've ever heard of, any castle or fortress in stories. This coral tower...
Wall?
Walls could be thrown in there. Anything that it matches the same sort of splendour and emphasised dramatic presence on a horizon. Any stories and songs you've heard or visit. But this coral tower is immensely high, reaching towards the sky. It's the colour of nightshade in some areas and pale greys in others. But it looks as if the tower itself, now that you look at the scene, has burst from the ground, and as it's gone up, has just then been held frozen and created this tower. There is a twisted doorway at its base that you can see from here, obviously the other side of the crazy ass orbs. And it is not a shaped door, but the twisted shape / hole in the base of this coral tower that might have just pinged up. I need to turn that off. You can see a doorway at the other side of it, and you were on a beach of coral and sand.
How far away is the tower and the doorway?
From where you're standing right now, maybe 80, 90 feet. If you like, even from where you're looking, if you look to try and see the tip of the tower, you get that strange vertigo feeling.
Like, virtually as soon as we hit the sand, Sapphire's going to monk as far as he needs to get onto dry land rather than water. Foop.
So you, as soon as you're off, like it's a few feet in front of you is the dry land. You feel that real soft sand beneath your feet, and then the odd sharp bit of coral that's like kind of snapped off and broken in the sand. Not like devastatingly sharp. 12 hit points gone. But yeah, you are on dry land.
Ruby takes a moment to
Appreciate the
recover.
land.
Appreciate the fact that we're back on dry land. And sort of goes slightly further forward, but not far enough necessarily that she's stepping among the orbs, and sort of watches them for a bit.
So,
Looking for patterns.
give me a perception check.
14 plus... Oh, it's plus 3, isn't it? Yeah, that's 17.
You are incredibly confident as you watch and kind of follow a few and follow the way they dart to and fro, that they are consistently without pattern.
Okay. Another sort of like careful step forward, and as though she were speaking to animals or wildlife, asks, "May we cross the beach, please?"
No response.
Crystal just turns to Ruby and goes, "Who are you talking to?"
The orbs. I works with animals.
Did they understand common?
Animals understand me. The orbs either don't or they're ignoring me.
What if they only understand certain languages? If they understand it all, I mean, I'm just speculating, but maybe they only understand.
What would be? What is there a native language here? To Horan?
As you're doing this, Owlbearer heaves the rowboat further onto the sand near a like raised banking of coral.
I will attempt to help, but not really actually be any help.
Owlbearer nods with gratitude, looking at the bulge of his bicep. No.
Like pats Ari on the head, like, don't skip Island Day next week.
No.
Alvera gives thanks, and then just stays sentry-like next to the ship with the preserved Zandria.
Well, that looks less scary than that. So, shall we?
Do you just want to walk through them and see what happens, or do we want to go around? Is there even a way around here?
I mean, I was going to start by holding my Naginata out front and just swishing and hoping for the best. So
I'm just gonna.
Well, they
try
might
and
see
step
that as a little bit
carefully.
aggressive.
Yeah.
that is a point. I suppose angry echo orbs is a bad shout. These things are weird.
Maybe they understand Sylvan.
Right to try. Freebie asks again in Sylvan this time.
If you can pass.
So,
You ask if you can pass.
yeah.
Cool. They give me a perception check.
Laugh if this works. I was just
The whole
joking.
party can speak Sylvan as well. This is the amusing part.
Nat
I think
20,
I'm the only one who can't.
For a total of
12, 23.
cool. As you ask if you can pass in Sylvan, a handful of them react in the way a dog would when you first whistle, but then they don't come to the call. But the rest don't even. They seem to remain in their chaotic state, and the handful that did react go back to their chaotic state. What you all notice pretty quickly is the storm, or the gathering of, fades away. You have a feeling of haunting replaces it.
Oh no, that's worse.
Oh no, Luke's trying to come back in, but his computer's frozen. Joys. Ariel kind of like try and step carefully and quietly through the orbs without having his rapier out. I know what's coming.
As you begin to step through them, can you give me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, please?
Oh, delightful.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, because we know how bad I roll. That is a 11 with my
Jesus.
+7 dexterity.
11.
Oh my god.
I'm just turning that down because
Listen, I rolled a 15 as well, okay?
right. I tell you what, until Luke comes back, let me just sort out the.
Yeah, that's fair, because it's going to put him last anyway, isn't it?
Hopefully.
So it should, in theory.
Right, I just need to do this, kids. Entertain chat.
500 bits, and Sapphire will cartwheel through them all.
Don't tempt them.
Yeah,
Can
really.
you roll me a death saving throw?
Yeah, straight away. Oh god. Boy.
What are we all hoping to see in the chat then? If we get drawn into more
More orbs.
echo visions.
I don't know. While this was all happening, by the way, like Crystal's just like sort of dropped down, so she's like squatting down, sort of semi near these orbs, and she's just trying to speak to them in various languages.
Bless her. She's so cute.
She's trying Celestial. She's trying Draconic, Infernal, Deep Speech.
Oh my god, she knows a lot of languages. Jeez. I love how Mavanix is like, luckily evasion. Yeah, boy, but you know, orbs.
So,
Could give you trauma.
So many languages.
The Celestial again gets a sort of puzzled head twitch from Ruby, but she tells you that they did, some of them responded briefly to Sylvan.
Or I look at what language they'll speak. So you sit the same as everyone else?
Since
I have
some of them
common, draconic,
reacted
and
in
infernal.
Sylvan, then Crystal's just gonna have a conversation with them in Sylvan.
Every language you try, Crystal, you
Mhm.
notice the same thing that Ruby noticed. A handful of them react, the rest
Yeah.
don't even flinch, and then they return to their chaotic state. Right, hopefully, cool. There we go. So what did you get, an 11?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. As you go dancing dexterously, all fancy like, through the minefield of orbs, maybe 20 of them just all launch into you. What you lot see is them physically go through Ari and out the other side, leaving
Oh,
strange ethereal, like breaking the sound barrier through Ari, and Ari goes in a bit of a slow motion as if on the cast of Platoon and been shot several times. Yeah,
How
What you
far?
say?
and Ari actually slows down. Like you can see Ari in slow motion as all these orbs hit. Ari, you hear the noise, too much noise, of birds ahead, birds above, all around you. It goes quiet, it goes loud. You are completely overwhelmed by the noise of it. Oh. And then you have a feeling of unease. And you start to take in where you are. You don't see any of your companions, whether they be old, new, or a long time with you. You look around you, your eyesight is impeccable. Your feathers sodden with blood, your wings sore, and you quickly realise that you are in eagle form, and you're in some form of brass copper-esque cage that is far too small for a eagle of your size. There is the stench of your own waste at the bottom of the cage, as if you've been here for a very long time. The colouring of your feathers has faded. You feel sore from being cramped, from beaten, from hurt from many different sources. As the cage just rocks on a broken dead tree branch. Oh, the tree's dead, sorry, you're on the branch. You look out down into the valley and then up to a ruined wall. The stones, or the remaining stones of this wall, ivory in colour, or maybe they were in the past. There is no ivory wall running from south to north. The immediate view in front of you is the ruined portion of it, but you see no history of a wall that was there. What you do see is thousands and thousands of ash-coloured demons pouring through these ruins, marching on strange mounts that roar and cry and scream to the air. Ahead of them, running around, tearing into the natives of Ravenholm, humans, dwarves, Goliaths, any other race that may be visiting. And despite your distance, your eagle eyes are unfortunately doing you well right now. And you can see the vibrant demons, those chaotic, kaleidoscopic, rainbow-coloured demons tearing flesh from those you call natives of Ravenholm. Can you give me a death saving throw, please?
Come in. Nope.
Nope.
It's a 4.
As you fail your need to cling to life, as you feel it fading away sat in this cage, you feel yourself get closer and closer to a darkness that you don't want. And then you snap out of it on a beach. Your back flat to the ground, the coral and sand around you, a very, very crowded collection of chaotically coloured orbs, all about 3 foot from you, above you. And there is almost as if crawling under something all around you. None of the orbs seem to touch the coral sand that you're laying on. And you just look across and you see Sapphire and Ruby and Crystal and Kesvion.
How far away are they? How far did I get?
You got about 15 feet.
Kind of shouts back to them. It's just like, definitely don't touch the orbs. No touching the orbs.
Yes, well done. You said
Sapphire,
that
who had
on the
taken a
boat.
few steps forward, when literally tries to style out that he had moved at all.
Crystal, how close are you talking to these orbs? Are you kind of shouting it, or are you like trying to push the kittens towards you to go hello?
I'm gonna assume that's directed at me. Yeah, I'm still with the rest of the
that's
people.
cool.
So if Ari is 15 ahead, then I'm 15 back.
Yeah, cool. Every movement you make, Harry, they react. Not your friends, the orbs.
Yeah, Ruby's just watching you with her arms folded, like and her staff stuck in the sand. Like, what did we literally just say on the boat?
They really don't like you.
Really don't. I really don't. And obviously ahead of me all I can see is orbs as far as I can see.
What, closer towards the tower, they eventually pan out and there's less and less of them, but you've got about 40-50 feet to go before that. This is a literal net of these orbs across this particular area that you're trying to cross.
He'll kind of shout back to the group. I think we've got 2 choices here. Either we run through them stupidly.
No.
I don't really know what other option we've got.
Are you under them?
Yep.
Can you crawl back? Or sort of like a snake?
I mean, I can try. But I don't... We want to get to the tower, don't we? I'm this far.
Well, you could try going that way, if you please, but I was thinking maybe we can make a plan where you're not trapped under a network of...
Yeah, probably. And he'll try and crawl back.
You crawl back towards your
Puppy
friends?
style.
Towards the friends?
Yeah, towards the guy, yeah.
Give me a dexterity save with disadvantage.
Boy, not again.
As soon as you start crawling, they immediately try to come at you.
Scared to roll.
Oh dear.
How many rerolls we got?
I think you had
You left,
3.
I believe.
I
Yeah,
think-
I used
think-
one, I think
and
I've got
you,
2
so you
left.
got 2 left.
Rolled a 3 and a 4.
Oh my god. Hell.
You are the worst salesperson for dice in the
Listen,
world.
listen. I'm just gonna try re-rolling that again. So
I'd just like to say that my bardic dice are really good.
Accurate,
Listen,
sadly.
Luke's are fine, and luckily Luke is the person that packages the dice, not me.
That's good.
Okay, that is better because that is an 11 at disadvantage. That is 18.
I was going to say 11's not better, but
No, that's why I actually
That's
rolled.
what you got before. 11 got you into this mess.
Yeah.
so as the orbs hit you, you all see Ari lay still again in that slowed motion. Ari, you see the same thing: the ruined wall, the ashen demons, the Order of the Vibrant, and you feel that pull towards death. However, you do not need to make a death saving throw. And you manage to, when you come out of it, get back to your friends.
When it gets sort of close enough, Ruby will sort of like hold out the base. She won't even offer it to him to hold up. She'll just hook him by the collar and pull him upright.
Yeah.
Is there any pebbles like on?
Yeah, there's plenty of, debris.
Okay. Can I pick up a bunch of pebbles?
You can indeed.
And can I cast light on each one of the pebbles, please?
How many you picked up?
Like 10?
Cool, you have 10 pebbles.
And I'd like them to be coloured red.
Are you going to try and disguise yours? Oh, Rapunzel.
My name's not Rapunzel! That's not what I'm doing. I'm not disguising myself with the pebbles.
That'd have been a bit. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
As you're casting light, Ruby is sort of like watching, quite interested, just like somebody who's interested in seeing somebody cast a new spell for the first time.
Yeah, basically I'm just touching all of these little pebbles, giving them a red light, which sheds bright light for 20 foot.
From each of them. And
And
a bright
I'm
light for
just
20 and then a further 20 of dim light.
Yep.
Yeah, so 40 foot. So you've just turned the beach into the red light district.
It's like it's the Blackpool Illuminations, but everything got stuck on red.
Oh, we've got
And
a Kess. Turn your camera on, Kess. 2 secs.
Nope, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Ah, Kess.
Gone.
So close.
He's gone.
So close.
And I'm just gonna, with these pebbles of light, I'm just gonna like sort of scooch back down and just be in again multiple languages. Just go. I can bring you friends.
What am I playing? I've lost everything. In what language?
She said,
Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, Draconic, Infernal, and Sylvan.
Give me a
So every
persuasion
language that
check.
she speaks. Oh boy, what's my persuasion like? Oh, I'm good at persuasion. I'm good at that. I'm very good at that. That's a nat 20, so 24.
Give me a moment.
Yeah. Let's actually make sure I get a photo of this week, because every time I take a photo, it does not. There we go. This week I have it.
Ruby is now like sharing looks with the 3 others, like, holy shit, I'm not the naive. Are you guys seeing this anymore? Like, I'm not the naive idiot anymore. Are you guys seeing this? Is what that actually meant to come out at.
4 of the orbs react at what languages you are unaware, but they all react, and they still in their crazy little darting motion, but they come towards you. And as you look at the 4, they remind you of Sapphire, Ruby, yourself, and Kesfion. There is no physical feature about them. There is just that feeling of recognition when you look at these. Each one of them making you think of the 4 of you.
Okay. So Crystal is not going to like make any sudden movements, much like, you know, when you have a very startled, shy creature coming towards you. She's just going to continue to sort of sit there with her stones of light, and just not even saying anything, just completely silent, just hand out, low to the ground as well, like that.
The one that reminds you of yourself comes towards your palm and just rests on it. Can you give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
I've got wisdom of the wazoo. That doesn't change because I'm a new character. Oh god, that's my...
The only stat Jade plays, wisdom.
Wisdom. Wisdom. 18 plus 6. I don't know what that is. I can't math that quick.
24.
It's high enough.
Thank you.
As it sits on your hand, it goes black, as in all around you. You're blinded, cut off from the light. You panic for a moment. You go to scream, but then realise your mouth is sewn shut. And as you bring up your hands to reach for your sewn shut mouth, you notice that your hands are broken. And you reach out in panic for a prayer to Omriel. There's no answer. You can't speak. You can't make gestures. Your ability to connect to your deity has been removed. There's an emptiness and a silence and an eternal darkness that for some reason seems to surpass the immediate blindness that you're feeling. Then blows start raining down on you as you are beaten again and again and again, and now the darkness is from you passing out. And then you come back conscious, aware that you are conscious, still in eternal darkness, still broken bones, still your mouth sewn shut. You can taste your blood, your nobility stripped from you, your hair, your beautiful hair torn out in chunks, sore patches across your scalp. You try to reach out again to Omriel. It's nothing. Silent, empty, and eternal darkness. You do not need to make a death saving throw as you come back to consciousness and you see Ruby, Ari, Sapphire, Owlbearer, Kesvion all kind of just looking at you.
So when Crystal comes back, she gives a very high-pitched scream and kind of like throws herself back further from the orbs.
At the high-pitched scream, several of the crazy, chaotic orbs scatter.
Away from her?
Yep.
Ruby will go help her up a bit more kindly than she did Ari, because she seems a bit less.
Because it's not Ari.
Yeah.
Not Harry.
She didn't just sort of like just yeet into them. She had a plan. But having that, she will then turn and shout, not necessarily scream, but just like a "ah," but louder. But I'm not going to do that down a mic to see if it has the same effect.
On the orbs, they do
Yeah.
indeed scatter from you before reforming.
Give it a proper whistle. One of the real dad from
Yeah,
the end of
the-
the garden, finger, yeah, the...
Dinner's
Yeah.
ready's whistle.
Sapphire, like,
Yeah.
flattens his
Yeah.
ears down in
Yeah,
preparation.
there's blood pouring out of Sapphire's ears.
Yeah, Sapphire's gonna Sapphire by now will recognise what's about to happen when Ruby raises her ring finger and forefingers to her mouth.
As you whistle in a extremely high-pitched manner, a lot of these orbs scatter away from you and then begin to reform.
Sapphire's still got his ears squished down. He just goes, "Can you still do the thunderclap thing? That's really loud too. We can run."
I could try Thunderwave. Have you anything that makes loud noises, Crystal?
No, I don't think so. I mostly have healing magic, so I'm not really one for offensive stuff, sorry.
No, I mean, well, I used to have all sorts of things. Mostly, since meeting this lot, it's healing spirit, because otherwise we won't get anywhere. But I could try Thunderwave.
I also
That only
have
does
Thunderwave.
well, it lasts. It goes out for the noises. it'll spread out for a good few paces from you, won't it? So we could. But how many times can you cast it? Because we'd have to keep doing it to push them away.
I'm not as powerful as you are. I'm still new to this magic
How
zone.
far is it from where we are to like the other side of the orbs?
50 feet, I think.
About 50, yeah, just short of 50.
A few paces, by the way, is 15 feet, but Ruby's never really like measured this. She doesn't use, well, Thunderwave isn't one that I use, so.
Out of character, I can't. So I've got no spell slots left.
Out of character, like I could.
Say.
I love
My
the.
whole 2 spell slots got used. I was like, shit, did I use them?
What a
I
rookie.
could cast it 3 times. I think I've got enough left for 3.
Owlbearer puts his hand on your shoulder, Ruby, and gestures, whistling, but makes no noise.
Or I suppose, yeah, I could just keep whistling. Or
Maybe-
I could turn into a
Thaumaturgy,
giant
Potter.
eagle and carry everyone else across.
If you can thaumaturgy, or that you can make it super loud.
Sapphire, take your hands off your ears, for God's sake. We're not doing anything.
Thaumaturgy makes sounds louder. His like, yeah, his main.
Unless it's a very nature-related spell,
Oh.
and that sounds quite learned and wizardry.
Crystal's just.
Says the cleric puts their hand up.
I can use thaumaturgy.
I always mix up that one and the one that can clean things, but I'm pretty sure one of them can make things loud.
Domesticization.
I can.
I can never take it because I can never say it.
I can make my voice louder, which would be a bit weird.
Okay, so we could try a combination of whistling and shouting, or they seem to be quite content at 3 feet. I could turn into a very large bird and ferry us over.
Problem is that if you fly over, they might
Go
fly
upwards.
to you. So
I mean, if you
maybe we just try the
Very well,
loud
if you-
noise without damaging, because I think that might make it worse.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if this works. And Crystal will then put her 2 fingers to her throat, and there's
you
like
whistling?
a little flash of light, and then it sounds like she quietly inhales, so she goes, and then there is a very loud 3 times as loud as my normal voice. Would you please move out of the way?
Oh, she's still polite. I love it.
there is a reaction, but they do not scatter.
Damn.
She just
I'll-
screams at
I'll-
them then.
There we go. As you scream and the pitch goes higher and higher, unless Crystal screams like Barry White. I mean, it's your choice. As soon as the high pitch hits the air and echoes through these orbs, they shatter into millions and millions of just dust immediately in front of you. On the outskirts, there are still some there, but immediately in front of you, as if a cone has been formed from your thaumaturgic scream. We'll go with that. They shatter. A very, very brief second, and you see the coralled sand start to rise off the floor and begin forming in small orbs, very, very, very slowly.
Right, quick march. Be
Let's
ready
do
to
that.
scream, and it looks like it's the high pitch, not the loud. So if anyone else can whistle, be ready to whistle, scream, and
Yep.
And you go pelting across the beach? Cool.
Yep.
Yep, Sapphire's going to go at his full
Is
180. He's going to do his full land agility as well.
Cass apparently has his weapons out and is ready to smash.
I didn't need to read that, and I know.
I know.
You go running through. Owlbearer does not follow. He remains with the boat, and just stays stoic. He does have his great axe out, and he has pulled his faceplate down in front of him just in case anything goes awry towards the rowboat. You make it across. The orbs start to form quicker and quicker around you as the sand all comes together and forms these chaotically coloured orbs. Those on the sides rushing to the middle as if, you know, Moses just tipped up and they want vengeance. And they come rushing towards you. Who is the last person out?
I think Ruby would have probably gone near the front.
So not you, Sapphire.
And
you
she'd have
pelted across.
probably been
Go see
pulling
Sapphire
Crystal
first.
with
It's
her.
probably going to be Crystal,
Well,
let's be honest.
Ruby, I was going to say that Ruby
doesn't
would
run
actually
as fast.
probably have taken Crystal by the arm because to
It's not
point
to do
you
with
in-
speed. You're all pretty fast. 30 feet's enough. I need to know who's at the back. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, Ruby would have grabbed Crystal basically so she can point
Yes,
the cleric
Zari.
and poke to make noise.
Because Cass would have been at the front and it would have been like leading the charge, let's face it.
Cool. Sorry, you're at the back. Can you give me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage,
Yep.
please?
Knew that was coming. I was like, I'll do that because Luke's not here and that's not fair. Oh, that's a nat 20th!
What's the other one?
Oh, it's an 11, so it's an 18 again.
Cool. As the orbs reform and those from the sides rush in, as Crystal basically screams them out of your way, that one or two of them, three of them, four of them, five, you start feeling them almost like weights hitting the back of your legs and your shoulder.
He'll also
They
try
stick
and
to
like
you.
be screaming as he's kind of going as well, be like,
You
"Ah!"
can scream away. Unfortunately, Crystal's probably drowning you out.
Oh yeah.
Your voice is probably not high enough.
And
Nope.
as the orbs clash back together and do not seem to follow, several of them do clip you. And when you lot turn to see where Ari is, you see Ari falling towards you in that slow motion as he hits the sand and lies still on the sand. Ari. This time, it's as if they weren't overly happy, and it feels personal.
Oh no.
You again see the ruins of the wall and the demons, thousands of them, coming through the gaps. Order of the Pale, covered in their ash. Order of the Vibrant, chaotically tearing through the natives. You're not in a cage though. Your wings are snapped and nailed to the dead tree that your cage was on the last time you saw this. It feels freshly done. Your legs and talons have all been broken and snapped. Half your body's feathers have been plucked. There are burn marks on your flesh. There are several cracks in your golden beak. One of your eyes has been damaged by a hot poker. And you feel every bit of it. Almost crucified against this dead tree. You look out across and you see nothing but death. Flesh and chunks all across the valley of Ravenholm. Miles and miles away from where you are. Yet as clear as if they were sat in front of you right now. You see familiar faces, those that you may have passed in a tavern or walking on the road, or maybe noticed them as a child. Just faces that seem familiar. You see the head of Stefan just roll from somewhere to your right, just out the shadows in front of you. Mouth open, eyes ruined. Just sat there in front of you, no body. You see Darius follow, just walking. No hands. A large gash in their chest. Blinded, they drop to their knees and die beside the head of Stefan. You hear a cawing noise, kind of strain Straight and best you can with your ruined state, still in your eagle form. You see a very, very large vulture just sit on the branches behind you. Just sat there, looking at you, looking out across. No death saving throw. And you return to consciousness on the beach. But you are all past the orbs. And before you is the Tower of Puku.
Crystal will Crystal will kneel down and help Ari up. Are you all right?
There's some tears streaming down his cheeks. Really, really don't let them hit you.
She takes the sleeve. Just cleans his tears.
Yeah, probably doing that a lot.
As you all look at the orbs now, there's an angry, like, murmur through them, but they can't seem to come anywhere near you from where you're standing. It's as if they're on the other side of a fence, really wanting to get her through.
Crystal's just gonna turn, look at the orbs. Kind of like, there's like a stern, like a child telling off another child. Like turns, stomps her foot and goes, well, I tried to be nice to you and you were not nice. So, sorry, but we had to get past. And turns back round and starts going towards the tower.
Wait, Crystal. Should we rest?
Well, you want to rest here? I mean, we can.
We rested in probably worse places. I have next to no magic left. I mean, we know what we're hoping to find, possibly an idea of what to expect to find, but we don't know what's in there. And frankly, I don't trust it.
I mean,
Okay.
I'd rather rest inside if we can get in a room that we can defend better.
Yeah, these seem like they'd be able to come near us at any moment, and really don't want
If
them
they
to
could, they would have.
They
Look
already
at 'em.
did.
No, look at them. If they could get to us here right now, they would. But they can't.
They're really angry though. They're really angry.
What if you three think we should find somewhere more defensible before resting, then we'll do it. But I think we should rest before. Certainly, if we're gonna find that particular Stefan again, I don't want to.
Also, Albera's over there with Sandria's body, and we only have a limited time.
You notice Owlbearer stood at the edge of the orbs, and they're doing similar to him as what they're doing to you, and kind of hitting that invisible, trying to get to him. And he half, in his own sign language and through the thieves' camp, just signals to you that he will stay and protect Xandria with his life.
He'll send the message back because he's close enough for that. And just being like, thank you so much.
He thieves camp back, you're welcome. He doesn't respond with a message.
Cool. Do we want to try and get? I don't know. They don't seem to be attacking Albera either.
Well, we can move away from where they can't get through, certainly.
Maybe. Don't even know if I want to get near that tower though. From what they've all said about the tower, I was going to suggest maybe having a defensible back to us, like putting our backs against the tower, but
So at the minute there's orbs 30-ish feet of sand, and then the tower door. I mean, where you are now, the tower is unfathomably high, and all around you there is the typical signs of a coral beach of dark grey and nightshade coloured coral. You're kind of in the middle of a tower and the orbs.
We need you at full strength, Ruby.
Could you scout?
You can.
But I'm not going to be unless we can sleep. I have never taken a hit to the head like that.
Let me get a little bit closer and I'll see what it looks like.
But we would lose a night for me to be.
But we need you at full strength. Like, we can't get through this without you. And, you know, I think not everyone's at full strength. We need to rest.
There's no point saving Xandria if we all die on the way.
Crystal just races up.
Crystal, you can speak.
Sorry, I didn't want to. You guys were. Anyway, if.
Oh, just interrupt us and talk over us. We don't care.
If you really don't want to go into the tower, there might be something I can do, but I've not really tried it before. I've not really had a need to try it.
What kind of something?
I can make a magic hut.
I mean, it sounds better than facing orbs or tower.
I mean, if we're gonna take a long rest, it's not gonna, you know.
I mean, we'll obviously keep watch because why wouldn't we? But that sounds like if it's something that you can do and you can offer, then that will be
It's
great.
gonna take me a little while to do it. It's not like it doesn't draw upon the same energy source as the light does, so it kind of takes a bit longer. Specifically around about 10 to 11 minutes.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's no harm me trying to go a little bit closer and have a look. I won't do anything, but we can have a little look a bit closer and just see what the lay of the land is. While
See
you're
if you can
preparing
see
that.
through the door, but I.
So, Crystal, you're going to take the 10 minutes to create the hut.
They're doing Lemon's tiny hut.
Lemon's
Huzzah
tiny.
for having bard abilities.
So, as Crystal begins her ritual of casting said spell, Ari, you're going to make your way over to the door. Where? Stealthily.
Yes.
As you're doing that, and as Crystal begins the hut, we're going to call our break there because it's 9:30. And I really need to step outside and cool down because it's red hot. Stick around. We've got another hour and 45 minutes left after our 10-15 minute break. We're going to go get a drink, a bio break. I don't believe Luke will be joining us for the second half because Virgin Media has decided to just switch off in Scotland. So he's having trouble getting back on, unfortunately, but he is sending us lots of texts of anger and his stats. So that's good. So we do have Kess in spirit. So please stick around. We shall see you in about 10-15 minutes. Thank you for watching so far, and hopefully you'll be with us when we come back. I just need to remember which one's the break. Right, there we go. There we go. We did both at the same time. That was professionalism at its best. Right, so welcome back to Heavyweight Gaming. This lot are known as the Fable Weavers. This is the second part of tonight's session. We are in the realm of Tohoro. They've just crossed the beach. The beach that was absolutely covered in not very nice orbs that show you not very nice things. You
One
made
day
your...
we'll get a beach episode that is actually just us relaxing on the beach.
I did say before you came back, I can't wait to get you guys to like a festival or some party that's going on. It's something nice.
We're just like,
what I
where's the danger?
That was at the beginning. That was when we were in all the taverns, the millions of taverns that we have.
taverns.
Yeah.
Your
miss
first
those
your
days.
first
Anyway,
session
sorry,
did
Eddie.
start with a
Luke ran a campaign, did like a massive midsummer festival, and I made every constitution save, right? So Ruby is like drinking dwarfs under the table. And then at the end, because I had to stay up for the midsummer rituals, I asked the gnome artificer bartender what might keep me awake. Failed the constitution saving throw and was just like vibrating around this festival.
Jesus. Nick,
Like
Nikki the
100%
Juggler,
caffeine.
thank you for the follow.
Hi, Nikki.
I'm hoping you know her, and it's not you're not just really excited to see a
No, I
juggler
just
in the
thought I'd
chat.
say hi.
Not
Really
seen a juggler in
excitedly to a
years.
random new person.
So, you managed to get across the beach. Some of you may have experienced things that the orbs are willing to show you, but you are across the beach. You've decided that you need a long rest. Kesfion's gone super quiet, but swords out. Crystal is ritualistically casting Leomon's
Leomon's tiny hut.
Steve's tiny up, and
Steve's
Leo Steve's tiny up for this lot to have a long rest in. Whilst doing so, Aristotle, the swashbuckling bard, the high stealth, he is going to approach the Tower of Puku, or specifically the doorway, and have a look inside and see what dangers may lay ahead.
Have a look.
So, assuming that the rogue of my lovely party is going to stealth, can I have a stealth check, please?
Yeah, but I don't trust any of my dice now, so there's that. I'm like, oh no, I've just realised I'm relying on dice.
Dice. It's shocking, isn't it?
Oh no, we're okay. What's my plus?
You don't know.
25 to stealth.
25. Stand by.
God.
25, is it? You lot notice Ari like disappear behind some of the more raised coral bits. None of you can spot Ari. Ari, you are quite confident. You make your way towards the door, or the twisted doorway in this coral tower. As you
He's
get,
trying to be quiet and he's just trying to have a look. Is what he's not trying to go in. He's just trying to have a look.
as you get to the tower, and you look through the doorway, you feel the presence of others within. That might be a bit loud. And what you see in front of you, you see more of the coral, like almost flashes of coral coming from the ground where they've gone skyward and then frozen in place. And the majority of these met the interior of this tower. It is maybe 100 feet across, but in the middle-ish, there's a spiral, not stairway, but walkway that goes off at funny angles as it spirals upward, again of the same grey and nightshade coloured coral. The sand at your feet that go in there, that goes right across the base of this tower, stretches everywhere. Other than more coral spiking out of the ground, you don't seem to see any physical presence within the base of this tower. What you do notice as you look up is that this spiraled walkway that leads up and up and up, every so often platforms of coral seem to reach out that could host a few people stood maybe, and there are several of them as it goes higher and higher and higher. What you begin to hear are the whispers and wraith-like noises of a long, drawn-out yawn almost all around you, and every now and then in between them you hear screams of pain, of heartbreak and anguish, of confusion, childlike, adult-like, and every scream sounds personal and recognisable to your ears, and they come from high in the tower. But it's not deafening. It's not like you're stood in a room with these screams and you're covering your ears, but these screams echo throughout this coral tower, in and amongst the wraith noises. But you see nothing.
He'll pull back from the doorway, like, kind of taking his look, and kind of be like, he'll stealth back to the group.
Your 10 minutes has passed by the time you've got there and done your looking around and come back. Your spell happens, Crystal, and the hut is manifested.
Ruby begins making tea because it is the beginning of a long rest, and he's not here to defend himself, so Ruby is going to drug Cass with the sleepy tea.
For those who don't know what Liam's tiny hut does, it basically makes a dome of 10 foot that basically we can go into, but other creatures can't come into. So only the people that Crystal says can go in. So basically the party can go in. And it is, if we're in it, we can look out of it. It's transparent, but nothing can look in because it is a, what's the word? A opaque colour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's
can
cool.
you can also
And I can also turn like the brightness in the dome up or down, basically like a like a dimmer light.
a dimmer switch.
So when we go to sleep, I can turn it low and it can be.
But it is 10-foot radius, so it's pretty cramped in there. But there's still a fair amount. You'll be all right. You'll be comfortable.
I'll go.
You don't have a Goliath.
Crystal's just gonna like climb on top of Sapphire
lion.
and just like lie on Sapphire.
Oh,
Joking.
it'd be so comfy with his little mane though. It'd be all nice and snuggly.
Sapphire is used to cuddle piles with the other tabaxi, so he doesn't care about closeness. He will like wrap tail around people, give snuggles if anyone wants them.
Crystal won't like verbally say anything, but like she'll just like when she settles down and when Sapphire settles down, she'll just like
Snow White it straight into the cat.
When they get back, he'll probably just be like, yeah, there's a lot of screaming and whispers and wraith-like stuff. So you're probably best to have a sleep here, I think. Plus this looks nice and cozy, so yeah, those screams were very familiar. Just what I wanted. Cool.
What do you mean by familiar, Ari?
Could you tell who it was?
Could either character tell who it was, GM?
Considering you were told your brother's imprisoned in
I
there.
know, right?
I
was like, I
reckon.
couldn't remember what I was told last time.
I reckon your intelligence of 2, you could probably work it out.
Listen, boy, isn't
You
it?
reckon that, but then if you're gonna have to roll an intelligence check, then
I mean, yeah.
You are safe to assume whatever you believe Ari would assume.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I mean, my brother is apparently trapped in there, so, or a version of my brother.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're definitely going in. It's just not the best news to hear. But that's okay. We've dealt with worse.
Just, yeah, we need to be at full strength, and we need a rest. I'm loath to rest when we've got limited time, but we need to rest.
Ruby hands you a cup of, not the hardcore drug stuff, but like the chamomile, lavendery, relaxing stuff.
Thank you, Ruby. It's appreciated. And I'm presuming we're gonna keep watch tonight. Looks around the rest of them.
Sapphire does his normal thing of when watch is mentioned, kind of lowers a little.
Not done one in 50 sessions.
He's done like one.
The
volunteered for
last
one
time
time.
he did one, he ended up under a bridge with a spider
did.
demon,
Oh yeah,
He did.
losing
That's
chi
true.
points.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean,
That's true. That's true.
Very true.
When Ari says about the watches, Crystal sort of like perk up. I can take watch.
I'll happily take a watch.
We'll take it in turns as we do.
Yeah, we'll take it in turns. We usually do.
Except possibly Cass, because I did give him some quite strong stuff.
Cass has
Well-
drunk the tea.
I will go second to last. That way Ruby can go last, so we can wake up with Ruby's wonderful tea.
I don't mind doing longer shifts. I'm not exactly spent on energy right now, so you guys try and get as much sleep as you need.
We can take turns. We should be fine.
Yeah, you might not be spent now, but if you stay up all night, you might be.
Cass will sit pretty much wide awake, sharpening the scimitars. Regardless of the magical one not needed sharpening. But he's going through his ritual and methodically doing it. Owlbearer just stares across, sees the tiny hut, looks back at the storm gathering above him and Zandria.
You could wear the boat as a hat.
Does anyone watch Owlbearer? Or are you all in hut doing things?
I think that
Ruby
Harry
is-
probably would. He's probably not ready to rest quite yet.
Ruby's just trying to either give everyone the chill out tea or actively drug Cass.
Cass keeps
He
drinking.
will sleep.
Cass keeps drinking your tea and keeps reacting as you've seen him before, wanting to stay awake, and he'll do his rest when he feels necessary. I assume one of you would have noticed Owlbearer parts the rocks and coral like heap near the ship, as in puts his hands into it and just parts it. It appears, probably from this distance, as if he simply used brute force to split the rock in front of him, but the fluidity, the smoothness of it probably suggests some sort of arcane aid. And then he takes Zandria into it and closes it again. And they both suffocate.
I was gonna say Harry was gonna suggest to him before he went, but
Leave a hole!
fine.
Leave a hole!
He was gonna suggest that
You're-
he would watch over them both, but
You're within the hut. You've got your watch ahead of you. Who's first?
Bristol,
Cool.
I think, has volunteered.
As it does bear into evening and you all feel the extremities of the day, the rowing, some of you may experience emotional tiredness, but you all go to sleep drinking your teas. Even Cass knows that he's useless, exhausted, so will take rest. Crystal, you are left on your Todd, or at least awake, looking around.
I do have the sugar glider.
Okay. Oh, you see the dragon. It's still that horrible, haunting feeling. And you can't help but every now and then look across to these angry little colourful orbs. And then you notice that they start to bounce into one another in clumps. So instead of skittering about, and they bounce into one another. And then you swear blind that one looks bigger than that one, and then you notice another one bump into it, and another one, and it gets bigger and bigger, so it's maybe the size of a beach ball or a football. And when you blow a very large bubble, and in slow motion it kind of comes together and then goes and floats away from the thing, that's what it does, away from the pack. And this large, chaotically coloured orb, just gently, not darting around like the others, just floating, and bounces off the hook. Boom, boom. That's all it does during your watch.
Oh, I'm glad I put the hook up.
Who do you pass over your watch to?
I'll go for Ari next.
Cool. You do your time. You nudge Harry. Fuck, would I let Harry on watch? You Harry, you are awake.
Would I let Arian watch them?
Your friends around you. Crystal snuggles into Sapphire, and it's time for your watch. You see no sign of Owlbearer or Xandria. Like, whatever Owlbearer's done seems quite concealed. You hear a dum, 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 as you notice now, right above the dome, like almost on the centre of the top, a very large, chaotically coloured orb. Just boom, boom, bouncing off the dome.
You're waiting for us, aren't you?
Very akin to when you first saw the orbs and they were just kind of zen floating in the air around you. There doesn't seem to be any energy in it. The light in the dome and the orb outside, you start to see the large orb take a shape or a silhouette, and it's as if somebody's done this with their hands on the dome, and it just sort of sits there, boom, boom, and then reforms into this large orb. Give me a perception check.
I'm glad I rolled terribly again. I finally can't roll above a goddamn 9 tonight.
9?
Mm-hmm.
When you feel someone's watching you in your turn, you do that towards the tower, but see nothing.
He'll kind of just shake his head to himself and just be like, it's not real. It's not real.
As your watch slowly comes to an end, who do you wake up?
Who was it? Somebody said they'd take second to last. I can't remember who.
Yeah, Sapphire did. He thinks Ruby should be last. She can make everyone tea, not just him.
That makes we'll wake Sapphire up then.
Cool.
So Sapphire, like, it's like a
kind
low.
of keep running him.
There's like a low, like kind of growly here. She's like, yeah, I'm up.
Get up.
And he like slowly works his way out from like around
crystals, lowering her head dead slow to them. You just pass over watch or converse?
I'll kind of just be like, there's an orb that's waiting for us to come out.
Oh well, that's fun. I'm glad that one's waiting.
Yeah, just there.
That's not at all concerning.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on it, don't worry.
Cool. I'll go sleep.
And he will sit cross-legged, close-ish to the door.
He will kind of snuggle back down into the nice cozy pile.
You can see the orb. You kind of check around there. Everyone's out cold. You hear it boom, boom, bouncing as you just adjust your cross-leggedness. You don't hear the bounce anymore, but you hear two almost padding noises touch the dome, and as you look to where it was, you see two large paw-like prints on the glass of the dome.
God damn it!
Sake.
Fucking hell. At
Why
least
did we
you,
leave Sapphire?
at least you're sold, Sean. At least you're sold. I literally
Sapphire.
see 2 demons sat on your shoulder. The angel got killed years ago. Just like...
Yeah, no, he won't. He will literally like whisper out loud. No, I'm not falling for the bullshit. And he'll just kind of sit there.
Give
I'm
me
gonna
a-
say you did get a warning.
Give me a perception check.
Good at perception. Ha! Not 20. That's 25 perception.
You hear familiar crying that reminds you of a sibling, and the 2 paws go down the dome, and you see streaks of blood where the paws go down the dome, and then there's a thud at the base of the dome, and then you see a large, like, silhouetted heap at the dome, and just boom, boom, as you see the orb bouncing around the heap at the edge of the dome.
Watching you.
Oh shit.
Fucking role players.
He kind of. No, he'll leave it. It's like, this is a trick. This is a trick. This is a trick.
Give me another.
And yeah, he'll
Go on.
stay.
Cool. Give me a perception check.
That's a 26. No, not 26. 24.
The orb gets further and further away from the dome towards the tower, and you can hear the dragging of something heavy, but in short bursts. So it's like away from the dome, and you see the silhouetted heap further and further away.
There's like tears matting the fur down from his eyes as he is just like he's gripping his Naginata really tight, but he doesn't go up. He doesn't make a move.
A moment later, you hear boom, 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 and you see the orb bouncing off the top of the hut. But you don't see the silhouetted heap anymore. And it continues to just bounce and bounce. And your time passes. And your watch ends. And even though there's no sunrise, you feel the effects of a night where you spent resting and taking watch coming to an end. So who do you wait for the last one? Ruby, is it?
Yeah, he'll wake Ruby, but if he's feeling well rested now, he won't go back to sleep. He will wake her up and then just say, I'm gonna stay in here, but I'm gonna do some meditating for a while, I think.
Cool. Ruby, you are awoke.
Yep.
Ari, Crystal, Kess asleep. Sapphire sat about to fall into a deep meditative state. And a very large reddish orb, or multiple colours orb, bouncing boom, boom, off the top of the dome.
Ruby, she glares at it disapprovingly, but it's outside and we're inside, and it's a later problem right now.
Cool. Do you do anything, or are you just keeping watch and preparing
No,
tea?
keeping watch, and occasionally glaring disapprovingly.
Give me a perception check.
13.
The rowboat has gone. See no sign of Owlbearer, or
Well, I saw Alberta.
you saw Owlbearer take Xandri into the rocks, but
Maybe he came back and moved the boat.
maybe, but you don't see the rowboat anymore. So-
Alberta must have moved it.
Cool. Sapphire, are you doing anything with your meditative state, or are you just enjoying a meditative state?
He's not trying to like seek anything out in specifics, but his mind is obviously going to be very heavily on his sister after what the orb did, or what he thinks he assumes the orb did.
Are you using your key to meditate, or just meditating?
I'll use a key. I'll use some key to meditate. It seems to make them useful.
You call forth that inner energy that you use the majority of time in combat to hone and keen your skills. And you let your mind rest, you let your body rest, as difficult as it may be. You've practiced this for many years. And you settle, and you breathe, and your eyes close, and the haunting feeling around you remains, but you pull on the hut and its protection, and even though you're aware of the haunting, it feels a lifetime away. And you call forth on your key, you summon it from deep within, and almost to add physicality to it, you pull light from within and just release it before you. And thinking on your sister, in this realm, in this place where the opportunities are endless and maybe confusion of reaching out to the right one, or maybe there is no right one, or the one, you're unsure. But you do see your sister in a forest of evergreen trees, snow freshly on the tips of them, crunching snow beneath her feet, in a simple tunic and a hunting bow on her back. No long train, no axes or swords of weapons of death. I suppose the hunting bow, but just seems peaceful, crunching her way through the snow. And she takes a knee, checks out some shrubbery at the base of some of the trees, and then takes an arrow, aims, and lets loose. And you hear her, "Damn it." And you return back. But when you return back and you look up and you hear the boom, boom, the orb, despite the magics of crystal, forms a face as if you are looking into a looking eye. And you see the face of Soul Taker, heavily scarred. Whatever battle has happened recently, the scars are fresh, just past wounds to heal towards scars. There's a lot of raking and slashing that has happened to her face, and there is a look in her eye of determination, fortitude, and stubbornness that you recognised mainly when you were just coming of age, when you were first out to prove who you are and who she was. And the orb just bounces her face, doom, doom, and then it goes back to being chaotically coloured.
He will spend the rest of his time staring down at the ground rather than looking up at the orb.
Cool.
Just waiting for others to wake up now.
Ruby's not on her watch too long, and you all start to come round. You can hear the rush across the beach of the sea crashing against the stonework and the coral bay. There's no sign of Owlbearer. There's no sign of Xandria. There's no sign of the rowboat. But you all come awake. The net of horrible orbs is still there, still darting around, still fast and angry and wanting to be closer than it is. And the large red and blue and pink and green and orange and violet orb that was boom, boom, is just sort of rolling around the perimeter of the dome. very gently. Every now and then, boom, bouncing into the dome.
We're waking up.
You are, yeah, you're all waking up.
Okay. Kind of just roll over and just be like, it's still here, it's waiting for us.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I put the hut up, otherwise that probably would have gotten us through the night.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's some magic I've not seen before, and it's very useful.
Like I said last night, it is the first time I've used it, so I'm glad that it came in hand.
Yeah.
There are some times we've camped, Crystal, where you would not have believed the rain we could have done with it then.
Not believe the places we've tried to camp. But yeah. What are we gonna do about that?
I'm happy to go poke it as long as you're all away, here to watch and make sure nothing stupid happens.
You
Okay.
want to poke
Oh.
the big version of the little things that are already terrifying enough.
Not necessarily poke,
Are you
but
okay?
put myself between. No, not really.
The "Are you okay?" Ruby sort of like the eye contact with Xandru would be where they like roll eyes at each other, but with Crystal it's like a stone.
I got to see what I think was my sister begging for help and then her dead body being dragged away. I got to see a different version in a battle of some sorts. I think that thing was trying to lure me out.
Was trying to lure me as well. Like it's just trying to take whatever form will lure us out.
Well, it didn't
would
have
recommend
much to
not
say to
poking
me.
it.
Okay, well maybe less
Maybe I'll go
poking
and
it,
have a
more
word.
staying between it and the rest of you.
No, it went after you, it went after Ari, but it didn't come after me. So I'll go between. Also, that is a long rest, right? I can
You've
take
all,
all my
yes,
spell
you've all
slots back.
had a long
Oh
rest.
Christ.
Yeah, 20 minutes short, unlucky.
So
I'm
that mean I
writing
get
it down so we
all-
remember.
So it's
Right,
also a
keep-
day off the scroll, remember?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
So that's what I was thinking.
Right, does 7d8 sound right for my total hit points, or is that what I wrote down after I used
That's what
the
you
short
wrote down
rest?
after you used them. Your total hit points will just be back up to max.
Oh yeah, I'm back up to max. I just want to write down how many hit points I should have in case you do another short rest or something.
You'll have full hit dice.
Yeah, you'll have all your hit
Yeah, I
dice.
don't know how many that is.
Your level.
88.
Your level. Whatever your level is, that's how many hit dice you have.
Okay. That's not what I wrote down, and that's what I wrote down last.
Hopefully
Level.
what you used, I think. I think we didn't use all of our hit dice.
No, I don't think I either didn't save it or I didn't.
It's fine. You've woke up, full hit points with all your
Right,
hit
I got
dice.
it. I'm good. I got all my spells back. All my
You ready for war? It's good.
wild shape and other assorted.
Druidism stuff.
Ariel kind of look across to where Albera was and be like, Where did he go with Sandria?
I don't know, but I trust him.
I mean, I trust him as well, but I don't know where he is. He'll probably try sending a message. 120 feet. And just kind of be like, Albera, you okay?
You see a very large Goliath arm just come out of the rock with it like that.
And he'll sign back because even though I can't see him,
Ask him where the boats are.
the boat. The boat's not. Oh, okay.
It wasn't there last night. I assumed he'd moved it.
I mean, I can ask him, but I'll have to like actually message him again because I can't see him to sign to him. But
Is
yeah.
message a spell slot or a cantrip?
Cantrip.
Oh, thank you. I was like, you just like spamming your spell slot.
No, it's a cantrip. It's
Okay.
a cantrip, don't worry. It's just been a very useful cantrip that I use more than my actual spells. Yay!
So
he'll
you're gonna
message.
send. Go on.
Yeah, I'll send him another message and just be like, do you know if the boat's gone?
Just see the arm turn and the thumb down.
That's a no, okay, thank
That's
you.
not good.
Yeah, no. Well, right. It's just what we need.
I mean, one issue at a time, I suppose.
My thoughts exactly. Although, what Ruby would have done at some point is check to see if she still has the pink unicorn summoning pearl about her person, or if that privilege has been revoked.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, that's intelligence.
So it
That's
wasn't
flat
where you
roll.
put it. Or it isn't where you put it.
Flat 15?
You search for it, you check your clothing, your bag, your boot. And just as you're about to accept that you can't find it, Jeremiah presents the pearl.
Thank you, my love.
Jeremiah just nods. No worries, love.
A Yorkshire mouse.
Yeah.
Look, there's only so far I can go with voices, alright? And you've got a druid that speaks to everything. So what's the plan?
I've
kids?
just accepted long ago that it was it's like the TARDIS. Like you always hear what you'll understand the best.
Yeah.
So clearly, like, obviously if we ever end up in Tower, all of Ruby's family are gonna have strong Yorkshire accents. So it's like
So
clearly that's
same as Caspian's in the
Ruby's-
desert.
Ruby's hearing all this in like halfling, so it's
So what's the plan?
Hour?
Does the hut not automatically drop after 8 hours?
I believe it does.
So do I.
It does. It's waiting for us.
Yep, 8 hours.
We'll say there was a delay because of the Realm of Echoes. Boof.
it's like a
And the
sat
hut
folk
disappears.
kind of.
And the large beach ball size coloured orb just stops and just rocks in the sand.
Ruby will step between the others and it.
Priscilla's gonna stand up and huff turn to the big orb and go, "What is it? What would you like? Why are you harassing us? Because if you want something, you have to be a bit more specific, otherwise can't help you."
It just rocks in the sand.
Just gonna turn back around and start walking
sensible
away.
as to just
Tower.
answer us, Crystal.
You're walking towards the tower?
Mhm.
The rest of you follow?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Ruby will be. If she has to edge around to make sure she stays between them and the orb, then that's what she'll be doing.
You successfully do so, and you all start to walk towards the tower. And if you look over your shoulder, you will see the orb just rocking in the sand. Yeah?
I don't like it.
Glare at it suspiciously, but continue towards the tower.
You reach the twisted doorway of the Tower of Puku. And just looking beyond it, you see the interior. Sand on the floor, several feet across, very large. In the middle of the, not room, but the base floor, the ground floor of this tower, you see the spiralling walkway that leads higher and higher and higher. The... the sounds that you hear are very different from that outside. Allegedly. You hear the burning of torches, of long yawns, wraith-like, and as if there is an ill wind about. You still feel that haunting presence. You see that as the stairway spirals up and up, you can all see now that this was an immense burst of coral and sand that shot forth from the ground and then just froze in place. Just ridiculously high towards the skies. The spiral walkway within the centre of the tower stretching up, all twisted. None of this is, it's not built, it's not designed, it's natural. And what it's left is this stairway that spirals upward. Every now and then up the spiral stairway you see these coral platforms spreading out. I'm pretty sure I said coral like 400 times tonight. You see these platforms just reaching out every now and then from the walkway. And you can hear screams. The screams are from a singular entity. The sounds of the wraith-like howls and yawns are from multiple sources, but these screams of anguish and heartbreak and pain and fear and anger and confusion all come from a single source, high up in the tower. And they echo down all around you. Not overwhelmingly loud, but very present to your ears.
Ariel just kind of brace himself and kind of start to go across to the stairway.
You hear your soft steps crunch in the sand. And when you get to the walkway, you see it's pretty wide. Maybe even yourself and Sapphire could probably stand comfortably next to each other. And it starts to turn and spin upwards, but in a very awkward angles, and some it goes a bit further out in its twist, some there's a bit of a tighter twist, but it spirals and goes up. What's your marching order?
Harry went first, and I don't like to speak for the characters, but Cass, with his sort of
Cass would
fighter
probably be up
training,
there.
he usually either takes point or the rear guard. So if he and Ari have made this tacit agreement that Ari goes first, I imagine Cass will be at the back. And whereas Ruby is the one who is usually herded into the middle, at this point is probably Crystal that's sandwiched between Ruby and Sapphire, but whether Sapphire goes after Ari or before Cass.
Cool, so what's your marching order?
Ari, Ruby, Crystal, Sapphire, Cass.
Cool.
Whether you want to stop Cass and Sapphire just for the fact that Luke's not here.
Yeah, I'll happily do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take up the rear.
Don't want random stuff happening when he's not here.
Yeah, true.
He's more likely to survive it. You begin your hike up the spiraled stairway. Walkway, sorry. There's no stairs. No stairs. And as you begin to trudge and your thighs burn and the old glutes are getting a good workout, you're like, it goes on and on. Forever surrounded by the screams and the yawns and the long whistling winds. You can see no torches, but it appears as if the tower is lit. You can hear the burning of torches as if you would in a castle, but you see no light source. It just is lit. You start coming across to the first platform that you saw from beneath, and it's taken you about an hour and a half, maybe, pushing 2 hours to get this high. Walking almost straight up on a walkway nearly 2 hours and you are still not seeing the top. Just gives you an image of how high this tower goes. On the platform, in the centre of it, almost museum-esque, you see a sculpting made from the very coral and sand of this tower, as if it has been pushed together like a sandcastle from the floor and forms one rather than being placed there. You get the strong plinth, and then it's been shaped into water, reaching up and up, and out the top of the water is an enormous whale that is just leaping from the water. Hanging in front of it is a very, very, and by hanging I mean in the air, floating, is a very vibrant sea blue orb. Not moving, not backwards and forwards, just sat there in front of this whale sculpture. There's no walls, there's no railings. Like, beyond that, if you were to walk past it, like, you go off that platform, you're falling 2 hours walk down to the floor faster than you got here. And the spiraled walkway carries on upwards to more
When
platforms.
Cass went through the bit where we all chose whether to go to the orbs or not, he went through the orbs, didn't he?
Yeah, Kess just ploughed through.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near you, it's not coming towards you, it's just off to the side on the platform. The walkway carries on up. It would be a choice to go.
I feel like he probably tries to move towards and somebody near him might actually pull him back.
Yeah, Ruby will actually say Ari.
As you take a
No,
step
not
or
Ari. I'm
Cass.
saying Cass.
I think, considering the circumstances, Kess would ignore every single periphery.
Yeah, that's true actually, yeah. Okay, yeah, he would. No, he's focused. He's a focused.
I thought I was just wondering what the hell the sculpture is. It's a creepy big fish.
To be fair, yeah, it does look like a big fish. I mean, it's probably, the sculpture itself is probably your height, Sapphire, but it is a sculptor, so it could just be a very, dramatic version of a fish.
Fair.
Cod and chips, mate. That's all it is.
Keep moving on then.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
As you carry on up the stairway that doesn't exist, and you go back onto the walkway, I should have totally just had stairs.
Is the word ramp the one you're looking for?
No, it's walkway.
Okay.
But we can use ramp if you want. There's a random ramp that you walk up to the next part of the walkway, avoiding the stairs. You walk for another half an hour, 40 minutes. Real tired now. Like, far quicker have you gotten tired than your normal treks. And there are 2 platforms now. Same, just hang from the side. Again with these sandy coral sculpts on them. As if they've been pushed together, like the material has been gathered together like you would with a sandcastle and then build up from it. The one on your left is a pyramid, but stepped, not smooth. And at the top of the pyramid, again water coming up, and the pyramid is sat in the water, and at the top of the step pyramid is a smaller version of a whale, like peaked at the top of the pyramid. And the one on your right, there are several small whales kind of in a circle with water pushing them up into the air. And in front of both sculpts there is a vibrant sea blue orb that does not move towards you or move around, it just sits like floating and hanging in front of the sculpts.
If it's between the 2, is it in the way or?
No, there's a like as you're walking, the platform sort of veers off to your left, and then maybe 10 feet further along the walkway there's another platform off to your right. They kind of just jut out from the walkway.
I'll keep looking upwards and judging how much longer he's going to have to walk for.
Give me a perception check.
Why do I even bother? That's a nat 1.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
It is literally horrendous.
I have 2 dice left. I had many when I started the session.
You look up. It's just darkness and seems to go on forever, does this walkway. But you do see several more platforms above you.
It's great. Love this place.
You keep walking?
Yeah.
Up.
Cool. It's into the second part of the day. The trek is horrendous on your back, your legs, your very core is bleeding inside. You don't feel it's steep, but you can't help but notice the twists are quite tight. There's not many long stretches of flat walkway. The constant screaming and yawns and wraith-like calls, just the presence of not niceness. It's time to rest. Not necessarily long into the night or anything like this, but it is well after your normal break for food and drink, and you just feel the need to just sit for just seconds, just to rest and let your muscles remember what it's like to not be walking up an eternal tower of death. I mean, you come to the next platform. You can easily rest here for a moment. You take your breaths, you eat your rations, you take your drinks. The sculpting on this particular platform, there is a vibrant sea blue orb in front of the sculpt. And again, the same gathering of coral and sand pushed together like a sandcastle formed up into rising water and waves. But there is no sign of the whale. But there is a raven or a crow in a humanoid shape with arms and legs, a kenku if you will, sat on a platform. Again, it's all one piece of material, just sort of sat. You have your rest. You are able to carry on if you so wish.
I think, like, knowing that they're all, like, I think they would have just had a short rest, essentially.
Yeah.
Just to kind of catch the breath and just, yeah.
You pack away your rations and such, and you move on. The walkway starts to widen and branch off as you now see that it's like at the top of a tree where the branches start to reach out, but you can see that they come back together, and you can notice now that if you really wanted to, you could all take different paths but yet meet on the next path along. You know, it's kind of broken up. Not saying you should, just describing it. I got left. And you now see that there are larger platforms that are starting to appear, and some of these actually reach out to the sides of the walls of the tower. None of it's smooth, none of it's straight, it is all twisted and angled, as you'd expect from just an eruption of seabed frozen in time. Give me a perception check, Ari, as you are leading.
I want to roll. I don't roll for sugar today. 12!
Ahead of you, where the walkways are coming along, you start seeing that the platforms now almost start creating ceilings above you. And we've just had a raid. Zulaw 22 is raiding with a party of 6. Thank you very much. I don't normally just say with my arms in the air. Thank you very much for the raid. You notice above you on your Great 12. Have a great adventure. Thank you, Graska. That the ceilings above you start forming now. Whee! Greens from Poland. Hello, Poland! Hope you had a good stream and a good game. Thanks for joining us. The walkway ahead of you goes out onto a larger platform of which you can't see, but you do hear footsteps on your 12. Thank you, Polish geeks. We do love nerds
Platform
from all
above,
that.
did you say? I can
Yeah,
hear
so
footsteps.
now the platforms of coral have started forming everywhere now. So now the walkway itself is almost going up towards the ceiling, and you kind of walk like from beneath the ceiling on to the platform.
And is it, because obviously it's branching off to loads of different directions, but you said it's all kind of like converging into
Yes,
one.
exactly that. It's converging into
Okay.
this larger platform. The screaming and cries of pain and anguish and heartbreak, etc., are a lot more potent where you are right now.
What to do. He'll just kind of keep his head down and keep trudging along and try and just keep following the path.
As you all begin to make your way and follow Harry, as you come up the ramp to the to the end, it seems, of this spiral walkway, the air up here is ice cold, and you quickly notice movement all around you, and then your eyes clap the piece at the centre of this, I say centre, just off centre towards the back, where there is almost a coming together of the coral to the end. Maybe the tower goes further on the outside, but here you can't see it going any higher. But towards the back, you see a ring of mirrors embedded in coral and roots, and in the centre of that ring you see Stefan, hair covered in sweat, curled up on the floor, rocking backwards and forwards, screaming, crying, reaching out at their wrists. Give me a perception check. Whilst they're screaming and reaching, every time Stefan looks at a mirror, he cries out in pain or anger or confusion, sobs without screaming, rocks, starts scratching at the floor, pulling at his own hair. What did you get on your perception?
18.
There is no snap band on your brother's wrists. But you can see the scratches all up his forearms, his clothes that are usually of quite an expensive attire, all ripped and shredded, and Stefan is an absolute mess at the centre of these mirrors that encase him. The movement you noticed around you, you see 4 humanoids. The first one you see, sorry, 2 seconds. The first one you see is a young girl with blonde, messy hair, absolutely pulled through a hedge backwards hair, leaves and mud and grass over her shoulders and chest, down her torso, belts of leather with herbs and small kettles and stuff, a crooked wooden shepherd's staff in her hand, and next to her is a 4-foot were-rat, teeth long, drool dripping from the teeth, 2 wicked curved daggers in their hand, the colorations of a mouse you saw a few hours ago. Not far from this druid and her 4-foot dagger wielding rat, you see a beautiful, handsome man a rapier held up in front of them, eagle motif on the basket hilt of the rapier they hold, a scar running down the left side of their face, eyes bright, a cheeky smile on their face, but there is a darkness behind the eyes just staring out across at you. It's at that moment you hear doof, doof, and you see a 6'6" lion, grey and white fur, piercing blue eyes, a naginata in their hands, death and brimstone stenched all around this massive 6'6" tabaxi lion. The attire of those from Ve and Viconia cover this tabaxi, and there is a blood stain around the mouth, on the white fur and the lips, and just small drips of it. And you see what appears to be Ruby, Ari, and Sapphire, and a cameo from Jeremiah, and Stefan being torn apart by an invisible torment at the centre of these mirrors. And I'm going to have to leave it there because I need Kess. And it's a
Events on the way, yeah.
it's a very, very important fight, and I want Luke to be there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I just say then, as the cliffhanger, because AD should know what this means, I think we've just hit Ruby's last nerve.
Uh-oh. Spaghetti.
So, with the end of the session there, I'll get rid of the spooky music because it's freaking me out.
Spooky go.
That should go away now. Thank you so much, players. I know you've had to wait a couple of weeks because we did the charity stream and I took a break and stuff, so thank you very much for being patient. I hope you're glad to be back. Viewers, thank you very much for watching. My Polish nerds, thank you for raiding. I hope you enjoyed the 5 minutes you got to watch. I do apologise, we normally play a bit longer. One of us players is missing and we're waiting for him to come back. If you fancy it, please join us again every Tuesday. We play from 8 PM BST, but I'm assuming you're doing your own streaming. But thank you very much for the raid. Thank you so much for you lot that have always watched us. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to what happens next. I know I am. We are at a very, very, very important turning point of the campaign so far. That was session 51, by the way. 51. Ridiculous. So thanks for that.
For a year we've been playing this.
49 of them were the same 24-hour stretch.
Yeah, next week's session will be 52, so you've been playing literally a year of this campaign. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, so thank you very much, players. It's good to have you back in. Crystal's cool. Well played. Well done working out the get past the orbs. We're making loud noises. So yeah, so thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Check out all our sponsors and stuff like this. Look out for the announcements of who won what from the charity stream. You can go check us on the VOD and YouTube and stuff like that. I don't believe we're streaming again until next Tuesday because it's the off week for the Cyberpunk, but we'll let you know. So thank you very much. Take care of yourselves and see you all soon. So for now, say goodbye, players.
Bye, players.
Bye, Luke. And you're out.